Hello, welcome to this week's Digital Planet listeners video, and we're very excited this week. We have an exclusive interview with Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple and one of the people widely regarded as being a pioneer of personal computing. He speaks to us on the podcast and on air on Digital Planet this week, so check that out. Also, we've had a lot of comment from you about the Digital Planet website that's been relaunched recently, and it hasn't been without its problems, so who better to put your points to than Kelly Shepherd. She's the managing editor of BBC World Service Future Media. So Kelly, just tell us about the website, and can you just tell me, what your remit is and which kind of websites have been involved?
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me along to come and talk to you. BBC World Service Future Media looks after all of the BBC World Service websites, so we have websites in 32 different languages. And the Future Media team, basically, that I'm involved with, the technical design and editorial support for all of those language services to produce the content for their websites, of which bbcworldservice.com, our English-facing site, is one of them.
Right, so obviously that by default includes the Digital Planet homepage as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean we've had all kinds of comments from our listeners both on Facebook and also through email, like Sanket in India, who says went to check out Digital Planet, shocked to find that the link and show notes aren't there. Peter Winkquist in New Zealand says trying to access the programme online. The latest episode appears to be from November 2008. What's going on? Peter in the UK says had a look on your website. The latest episode is from November. Danielle from Scotland, I hate this web page. Maybe that's a bit harsh. Dave in Great Britain says, why no episode available for the most recent programme? Simon also has made a similar comment. So, Kelly, what's going on?
Okay, so we relaunched bbcworldservice.com on the 23rd of March with the idea, basically, it's part of an iterative process where we relaunched in December 2007 to put audio central to our site. In March of this year, as I say, we relaunched to the 1024 format, so we made our sites bigger, basically, and wider. And in doing that, we also carried on this process of making it much easier for people to be able to find the World Service content that they would like to listen to again. So the kind of long view of it is a very positive one, that you're getting this, really nice, clean, shiny site with lots of room for the content to really showcase the best of it. But then we hit a problem. So we relaunched on the 23rd with our audio. Our audio basically comes into the BBC's iPlayer system, which is a central BBC system. And it's reliant on us at World Service providing a feed of data, basically through to iPlayer, to say these are the programmes that we want to capture on our website and play out. We hit, after launch, lots of different problems with that system. The main one being that that data feed basically had some faults in it. And I'm explaining it in this way because obviously I know that Digital Planet listeners will know what I'm talking about. But the data feed had a number of problems in it, which we're really struggling to find out what those problems are and why it's affecting the pages. But it has meant that with our English programmes, we've had a lot of mismatch. You'll have either had the most recent programme but an old description, or in our archive suddenly you'll have weeks missing in the archive, and that's really frustrating for listeners. And really frustrating for us, because obviously we had this fantastic launch with this great new product, and then a few days later we suddenly were like, yikes, there are lots of programmes that can't be heard or that are missing. Since we've discovered the problems, we're just working really hard to rectify them, and some of them I think we've managed to solve. So as of today, I think you've got the majority of the most recent episodes there with the description text with it. Some of the archive editions I know are still missing, and we're working hard to rectify that and put those back in. So it's really disappointing to hear listeners say it doesn't work, and and for that we have to apologise. But what I will say is it's been an absolute mammoth task to get the new site out, and it's disappointing, but we're working with it, and I'm hopeful that we're going to get it all solved in the next few days.
So you have a team up there, they're all working very hard, working extra hours,
Yeah.
Weekends to get it all sorted, are they?
Absolutely. I mean, our poor technical team has been working round the clock to get it fixed. And in doing that, in some cases, we've actually rolled back from very technical solutions to very manual solutions of, manually inputting text into web pages. So, you know, it's not that we're not trying, it's not that we're not taking this stuff very seriously, it's just taking us a lot longer to completely fix it than we'd ever anticipated.
And I know, you know, it's difficult in terms of what's going on with your colleagues here in the building, here at the BBC, but it seems as if the thing that makes you the most upset, the most kind of concerned about this is the effect on the audience, on our listeners and website viewers.
Yeah, completely. I mean, the whole process with worldservice.com, as I say, when we relaunched in December 2007, it was a radical change to the site to actually put audio central. Up until then, we'd been a kind of news site with a mishmash of feeds from all over the BBC. When we relaunched in December 2007, we wanted to try and make it as clear as possible for people to be able to listen again to our programmes. And with the new version of the site, it was pushing that even further forward. So, you know, you've got lovely new indexes for science and for business and for arts that clearly just list out all of the programmes that you can either listen to again or you can download. It's a much, much cleaner offer. And as I say, it's just kind of another step in the process to make it a much more user-friendly site and to show that, look, we're a radio station, here's our audio. That's really all we want to be doing there. So it's really frustrating that, you know, in doing that, we've managed to, you know, have these massive problems that have meant that the simple, the basis that we were trying to achieve with our sites, you can't actually do. You couldn't hear the programmes, you know. It's incredibly frustrating. And as I say, the last thing we want to do is to upset, you know, listeners. But we have recognised that there's the problem, and say we're painstakingly going through to fix it.
Okay, well look, Kelly, thanks so much for coming in to explain all this. I know it's a very hard, it's a busy, it's a stressful time for you, so me, speaking personally, and I'm sure the listeners out there as well will appreciate you coming in and taking the time to explain what's going on to us.
You're very welcome.